Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Satine Phoenix. We're going to talk about this tattoo controversy, and we're going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons. All right, and specifically with today, we're going to talk about, is Satine Phoenix a villain or a hero in this whole situation? I ain't going to bury the lead. She's a hero. She's the only non-villain in the whole story, right? And I'm going to tell you why, okay? So this is part of a playlist. You need to watch this in context, the full playlist, to understand full context for this video. If you want to go forward and, see what you can suss out, great. If you want to understand the full context, because I'm not going to recap the whole story of what's happening. All right, here we go. Okay, so Satine Phoenix and gets into this whole controversy. I'll give you the 15-second summary. So essentially, Satine Phoenix and her husband, Jameson Stone. Jameson Stone was an absolute jerk to Post Malone's tattoo guy. Condescending, aggressive, horrible monster human. Punching down, giving bad vibes to somebody who's just doing their job, to just a laborer who's doing their job, right? That's a terrible offense, and and that is a bad thing, right? Satine Phoenix is the wife of Jameson Stone, is Satine Phoenix's husband, okay? Now Jameson Stone, villain. Post Malone's tattoo guy, villain, absolute villain, right? And the reason why is this guy's a tattoo artist, and he had a tattoo go bad with one customer, and that customer lost his job as a CEO of a TTRPG. Does that seem fair? That ain't fair, right? And the reality is, that tattoo guy said, hey, if you ever hire me, trust and believe I will betray our professional relationship. I will be very unprofessional to you, and I will out any communication we have to the world, and I will make a villain of you if you even cause one misstep in my tiny little business. That ain't right. That's villain work. Post Malone's tattoo guy, my humble opinion, villain. Jameson Stone, my humble opinion, villain. Satine Phoenix, hero. Why? All right, let's talk about it. Why does Satine Phoenix walk out of this unscathed and she's a hero in all this? I'll tell you why, okay? It's because she's a woman who moves the needle on Dungeons and Dragons. And you know what? They're rare as hen's teeth. There are incredibly few of them, right? Let's talk about the women of Dungeons and Dragons. Deborah Ann Wall. She was on True Blood. She was in Daredevil. And she's probably the most famous female dungeon master in the world today, okay? Who else? Lorraine Williams. She was CEO of TSR between 1986 and 1997. Huge, actually the most important woman in all of Dungeons & Dragons history, by far. Satine Phoenix. Oh, Kate Welch. She came in. She was the lead designer on Ghost of Saltmarsh. You know how many women are lead designer on a D&D 5e book? It's incredibly rare. There are for every woman who's led it, there actually Amanda Heyman on Strixhaven, opening the new gate for social interaction and taking social interaction, opening the actual social interaction pillar gate. The combat pillar gate was opened in 1974. The social interaction pillar was opened in 2021 by Amanda Heyman. The exploration pillar gate is still closed, right? There are women, but I'm telling you, this list is incredibly short. And all of these women have moved the needle on Dungeons & Dragons. And you know who moved the needle on Dungeons & Dragons? Satine Phoenix. What did she do? Well, first of all, she gave a whole bunch of Dungeon Master tips. And she said, you know what? If you're a woman, you could chop it up. You can throw it down. You could tell people how to Dungeon Master. That's exactly what she did, right? I think her show was I hit it with my axe. And the other thing she said is Dungeons & Dragons can be an escape from a hellscape. Dungeons & Dragons can be an escape, career-wise, professionally, from a hellscape. She worked in adult entertainment industry. I do not hear a lot of stories coming out of the adult entertainment industry saying I was treated with respect and kindness and everything worked out great. That is a very bad industry, in my humble opinion, that is filled with absolute horror stories that run the gamut of absolute terrifying, horrible things that shouldn't happen to humans. All right, that's not a great industry, right? So she was in that industry, and when she got to 30, she's like, I want to get out of here, right? And she told women and men, you know, if you work in this hellscape called the adult entertainment industry, you can go to Dungeons and Dragons. And all you need is charisma, confidence, and intelligence. There you go, right? And she showed it. She didn't just say it, she showed it, right? And she built a career and escaped the adult entertainment industry, which I think was really, that's a huge thing. That's a really big deal to like say, hey, I'm showing a path from this hellscape industry to Dungeons and Dragons. And that's a big freaking deal, right? She's accomplished a lot. She's moved the needle, right? And then she played recently. It was her birthday. She had a whole bunch of companies come together and they sponsored this thing, and she played D&D on a jet, right? Like, you know, she moved the needle. She's like, hey, take your game to a higher place. Exactly what I've been saying to do, right? She's really important, and she is a big deal in Dungeons and Dragons, right? And here's the thing: is Satine Phoenix bringing Hollywood energy to Dungeons and Dragons? Yes, she is. She's an American celebrity. She's a Dungeons and Dragons celebrity, right? And she is bringing a lot of cockiness, a lot of arrogance, and a lot of, I'll say it, jerkery. I think she's bringing that Hollywood jerkery. Hollywood jerkery is a very real thing. Like, oh, I'm a big famous celebrity. You're just a schmuckety-schmuck human, right? Now, here's the issue, okay? We, Dungeon Masters and Dungeons and Dragons players, we don't play at the same level as the rest of the world, right? We understand social contracts. And one of the social contracts that America has right now is if you're a celebrity, we allow you to treat other humans like dirt, period. End of sentence. And if you think I'm wrong, I'm gonna shove you over to the Will Smith slap, right? They can get away with whatever they want, right? There's a lot of evidence in America. You can even get away with murder. You're a celebrity. Like, you definitely can treat people like dirt, right? Has Satine Phoenix been treating people like dirt? Yeah, I think so. I think absolutely so, right? She's been bringing that Hollywood jerkery energy. Now, does that make her a villain? It definitely makes Jameson Stone a villain, right? He's got that Hollywood jerkery, right? Here's the problem: he ain't done nothing. He hasn't earned it. There's no social contract. Where, like, if you're an American celebrity, if you're a D&D celebrity, you can treat humans like dirt, right? This is the social contract that we are projecting as a nation, right? And Satine Phoenix accepted it. She's like, yeah, I'm a real celebrity. I'm a D&D celebrity, and I'm going to treat a few people like jerks, right? And so that's where she went. Problem is, Jameson Stone did the same thing, but he ain't nothing. He ain't an American celebrity. He ain't a D&D celebrity. Nobody knows him, right? Like, and he was doing this before he was Satine Phoenix's husband. All this went down before he married her, right? So before he had given us in America, we say, hey, you become a celebrity, you become a full-on celebrity, you entertain us, millions of people are served and entertained, you could treat some people like dirt, right? That's the social contract, right? And Satine Phoenix has just been accepting it and doing it, right? The problem is Jameson Stone came up and he tried to act like he was he tried to attach Hollywood jerkery to himself, but he didn't deliver nothing first, right? And if you ain't an American celebrity, don't try to act like one. That makes you a villain, right? Now, if you are an American celebrity and if you are a D&D celebrity, right now, the social contract is that you got a little bit of jerkery coming to you, Hollywood jerkery. I don't think that contract is good. We shouldn't have that contract, but that contract is made and contracts are honored. And here's the thing, right? Satine Phoenix delivers. She entertains. She makes everybody happy, right? And she's just collecting the part that has been promised her in the social contract, right? Jameson Stone, he broke the contract. He tried to act like, he tried to act like an American celebrity, like a D&D celebrity. He wasn't either one of those, right? So his Hollywood jerkery was unwarranted, and no social contract allowed it. But we have made this contract, right? The social contract. And it is definitely in effect for Hollywood. And here's the thing. We are all complicit in this, right? We want Dungeons & Dragons to grow big. We want Dungeons & Dragons shows. We want Dungeons & Dragons movies. And we don't want them created by some scrub content creator who is using second-tier people, right? Hollywood makes the best entertainment in the world, and all their people are horrible monster people, right? It's part of the social contract. We're like, hey, you don't need to be a nice person. You just need to entertain me. And they do. They deliver on their end. So what we have here is we have Satine Phoenix coming in and actually saying, hey, I made it. I'm an American celebrity. I'm a D&D celebrity. I'm going to treat a few people like jerks, right? And here is the issue, okay? at the end of the day, I don't like this social contract. I wish we didn't have it. It's in effect. It has not been broken. Okay? So I'm not gonna point fingers and call villain for somebody who has delivered on their end and is taking their payment, which America has constructed. And then definitely, and the American D&D community is definitely offering the same contract. We watch her. We are entertained by her. She's collecting her pay, which is that she can treat some human beings like dirt, right? And that extends to being condescending and saying a few harsh things. She can't, well, I was about to say she can't assault somebody, but that's even under question after the Will Smith slap, right? Like, it's, you know, we are still extending this social contract. And the rest of the world can ignore this, right? But you're a dungeon master, I'm a dungeon master, you're a Dungeons & Dragons player, I'm a Dungeons & Dragons player. We understand social contracts, and we don't piddle about with stupid like, this is real, right? We understand that money ain't the whole ball of game, right? Oh, except DM Bloodsworth. He thinks it's all about money. Because he ain't paying attention, he isn't seeing the deeper parts of this, right? And so that's the issue. And here's the kicker. I'm going to say it right now. Satine Phoenix has done far more good to Dungeons & Dragons community than she's done bad. She's probably said a few harsh words to a few, you know, laborer types, right? But the reality is she's brought a ton. She has moved the needle on D&D and shown women you can make it in this game if you grind, if you take, if you do, and you never stop, right? And I'll tell you right now, we have a long way to go. You point me to a tabletop role-playing game written by a woman, I'll show you 500 written by a man for every one you show me. We got ground to gain in getting gender equality within Dungeons & Dragons, and Satine Phoenix is doing it every day. And the sharp edges on her behavior ain't nothing but her collecting her part of the social contract. We made this world. We pay attention to celebrities, and in D&D, and a D&D celebrity right now, the social contract is you entertain us, you move the needle forward, you get to treat people like dirt. We can call her a villain when we change that social contract. But as long as there are a huge number of D&D Twitter people and D&D Twitter commentators and D&D YouTube commentators out there talking about this nonstop, which is absolutely happening, right? She's doing her part. She's being a D&D celebrity. I don't like it, but that's the reality of it. And frankly, Jameson Stone, outrageous villain. Post Malone's YouTube tattooer guy, outrageous villain. Satine Phoenix, you look at the good, look at the bad she's done, hero. I'm saying it. That's my opinion. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you think I'm wrong with a single thing I said, let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. Have a wonderful millennium.